We are live tonight. Hey, how are you today?
Good. What's up, y'all?
How y'all doing out there tonight? We are actually sitting on the opposite side of the studio tonight. We are happy that you joined us. If you joined us,
Yes.
Tonight we got a very sensitive topic that we're going to discuss. So I want to make sure that I say a disclaimer at the very beginning. This podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes only. We are not medical doctors, psychologists, or licensed mental health professionals. The content shared here reflects personal research, lived experience, and interpretations of authors like Henry Wright. Please consult a licensed physician or therapist if you need help.
That's right.
We are here as spiritual coaches. We're here to help you, but we're not licensed psychologists. So we want to give that disclaimer before we get started.
That's right.
So we don't want nobody saying, hey, Lawrence told me this and Elizabeth said that, and next thing you know, we're in court.
That's right.
Remember, healing is a journey, and no single source can replace professional care.
That's right.
You know, so that's what I want to say. It's a journey, and we're here to help you get through the journey as coaches.
That's right.
And I do feel like I'm a spiritual coach, so,
No, you good.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Oh, okay, he wants to make sure he's in that camera, right?
That's right.
All right.
So what's the topic tonight?
Ooh, this is a pretty deep topic. I've been researching this for years. I'm trying to do this without my glasses tonight, because I don't like the way I look with my glasses. But I'm going to try. I'm just going through my notes right now. So the podcast tonight is going to be your brain, your belly, and the hidden language of illness. Your brain, your belly, and the hidden language of illness. He wouldn't let me get my coffee because he was running late. And I'm like, my throat.
Yeah, so tonight's topic is about the brain and the belly and how those two correlate. You know, you think about the mind, the brain, and the gut. People don't understand. People don't understand how those two go hand in hand. So we're going to talk about that tonight very briefly with you all. And this is so much information that we prepared tonight that we may even do a part two, because so many people are suffering not understanding that their diet, remember my quote, people are literally digging their graves with their teeth. You know?
Say that again.
And that quote came from David Immonitier.
Say that again, please.
That people are literally digging their own graves with their teeth, not understanding the things they put in their mouth are literally causing them health problems, health ailments, and different things of that nature.
Ooh, okay. So this is my question that I wrote tonight. I'm going to have to put these glasses on, y'all. How is it possible that you can eat all the right foods, say all the right affirmations, I put that in for you, and still feel emotionally exhausted, mentally foggy, or physically sick? Maybe you've gone to the doctor. So many people have gone to the doctor, and they still can't seem to get past those feelings. So what do you think it could possibly be? I'm asking you that question.
I mean, it could be a number of things. It could be, you know, someone's belief. I talking back to belief. You know, most people struggle with beliefs. You know, I strongly believe that many people in today's society, they accept what the doctors tell them. You know, good and bad.
Right.
You know, it's almost like a placebo. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times from that question that you asked me, that many people receive the information and they digest it and they internalize it and it becomes who they are. So if the doctor says, hey, you know, I'm seeing this cancer cell, right? They'll begin to literally look up the symptoms and begin to adopt all those feelings, and they can literally create that disease in their body.
Are you talking from experience?
I am talking from experience, not with cancer.
No.
But I'm just saying,
Be clear.
you gotta be clear, you know. But experience definitely when it comes to things that I experienced, you know what I'm saying? From having anxiety and different things of that nature, being a hypochondriac.
Right.
When it comes to some of these things.
So I'm here to tell you guys tonight, you're not crazy. Sometimes your brain and your belly is trying to get involved. So that's a deep.
So watch this. The brain and the gut are deeply connected. What you feed your belly affects your brain, and vice versa, right? This gut connection plays a huge role in how we learn, focus, remember, and handle stress.
Isn't that amazing? So when my kids was young, we absolutely did vocabulary. So I have a couple of little vocabularies because when we're using these words tonight, take a pen and paper if you can.
Oh, I got some definitions of mine too.
Do you really?
I really do.
Okay, so okay, this is my topic tonight because I'm all about healing.
Yeah.
I mean, he is too. Don't get me wrong. He's not healing. But each and every time I come up here, I want you to walk away with something feeling like you didn't know before. Mm-hmm. And then you can change it for your healing journey. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So if I pronounce these words wrong, if you know them, fix it for me. I don't mind. You can. But I want to just give you these definitions. Amygdala. Okay. That's a part of the brain. That's the smoke detector. Okay. The smoke detector of the brain. Did you hear what I said? Amygdala is the smoke detector of the brain. It senses fear and danger. It's where trauma lives. So in that section of your brain, the amygdala is where trauma literally resides. Okay? Okay. Prefrontal cortex. Let me put my glasses on. Prefrontal cortex. That is the CEO of your brain. Did you hear what I say? Repeat that word again.
Prefrontal cortex.
That's the CEO of the brain. It's responsible for reasoning, decision making, and calming the body down. Wow. Okay? And can you pronounce that for me? I don't want to mess up again.
It's hippocampus.
Okay, that is the memory librarian of your brain. It is the librarian of your brain. So it organizes the past experiences.
Wow, librarian of the brain, wow.
The librarian of your brain. And then lastly, the vagus nerve. That is the superhighway between your brain and your belly. It sends messages both ways, and it is key to healing.
That's crazy. You know, I actually have the vagus nerve and the hippocampus nerve on my nose too.
Good. I'm glad you've been doing your research.
Yeah, because it's so important that we understand these definitions.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's so important for us to read, to understand what this stuff really means.
Absolutely.
So when you're hearing this terminology amongst doctors, amongst health professionals, you know exactly what this stuff means, and you're able to have a direct correlation of what it, you know, have an understanding of what it really means. Right. You know, so I'm gonna jump my definitions. You know. Okay. So I put a definition of the vagus nerve. The explanation is the nerve acts like a two-way street. Right. Ooh. It carries signals between your brain and your belly.
Right. Now, how many people you think knew that? That your brain and your belly is so closely connected.
You know, prior to this section, I didn't know that.
Isn't that something?
I did not know that literally there's a direct line from your brain to your stomach.
Absolutely.
And they are in constant communication.
Constant communication. Isn't that amazing?
I did not know that.
So we're here to educate tonight, guys. I want you to understand, because we all kind of know that when we get scared, what happens?
Oh, you gotta use the bathroom.
You gotta use the bathroom.
I know I do. And I get scared.
So, you know, so tonight this is all about healing. So the first thing I want to do, and he got a lot of notes, is that we're going to give some real life examples. So let's say you grew up in a household where love had conditions. Okay. You know what that means? When love had conditions. And you know, if you do that, I'll give you that. If you do this, I'll do that. Mm-hmm. So those are conditions, right? You never felt safe expressing how you truly felt. As a result, your amygdala becomes hyperactive, always scanning for rejection. So what happens is when you're constantly are loving our children or people with conditions, that amygdala, oh man, I'm going to mess that up tonight, starts to work and literally starts to scan for rejection all the time. So that is an important thing to know. So when you start feeling like there's rejection, just know that your amygdala is working. Right. It's absolutely working. So your prefrontal cortex didn't get to fully develop those calming tools because it was too busy surviving. It was too busy surviving. The same person now, this was when you was a child. The same person at age 30 might struggle to speak up at work, have gut issues, anxiety issues, autoimmune issues, and not still realizing it's all coming from how the brain was wired as a child. So you're going to the doctor for certain things that he can't fix.
Right. And that's what a lot of times doctors will say, you know, we don't see no symptoms. Because a lot of times it's spiritual and it's stuff that we don't see. It's all mental. It's in the mind, it's in the brain.
Absolutely. You guys forgive me for my pronouncing the words. I know my son's gonna probably chew me out later for that, but I'm real about it. But I mean, this is a personal thing for me because I've been studying this for years.
Yeah.
How the brain and the belly is basically teams. You know
they go hand in hand.
Absolutely. And how we want to heal from these things. And we go into the doctor, and how many people, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be, let me give that as a disclaimer right away, but so many people are taking medications for so many things because they are just depressed or they're anxious or so many different things. Or some people don't even come out the house.
Right.
They're living in bondage because of things that happened to them from a child.
Wow. And I got some scientific facts about the brain and the belly, right?
Okay.
And like I said, when we go over these topics, y'all, a lot of times I'm learning as I'm preparing.
Good.
You know, because the best way to learn something is to teach it.
Absolutely.
You know, so as we studying this stuff, it's really profound. So did you know that your gut, your stomach, has over 100 million neurons?
Oh, yes,
right?
I know.
And that's why it's often called the second brain.
Yes, it is.
So your stomach is often called the second brain.
And I bet you a lot of people didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that prior to this. So going back to the vagus nerve that you mentioned, the vagus nerve connects the gut and the brain directly. They are in constant communication, right? 90% of serotonin, that's your feel-good chemical in your body, right, is made up in the gut, not the brain.
Isn't that something? Say that again, because we want to spit facts
So
tonight.
your serotonin, right, that people think is in the mind, is really in the gut.
Ooh.
And that's your feel-good chemical.
Wow.
Right? So when your gut is off due to poor diet, stress, trauma, it affects your mood, your focus, and your ability to learn.
Oh my God.
Ain't
That
that
is
something?
absolutely profound.
That's
we want
crazy.
people to be free tonight. Free, free, free. What else you got there?
So when your belly is in chaos, your brain is in confusion.
Oh!
I like that one. When your brain, I'm sorry, when your belly's in chaos, your brain is in confusion. That was so good I had to say it twice.
Yeah,
you know
you gotta
saying?
say it twice. You gotta say it twice, honestly.
So now I'm talking about how it really affects your learning, memory, behavior. Because that is so profound because, being someone who dealt with anxiety, who dealt with all those different things, like you said, when we are scared, when we do have those emotions, or when you are hurt from trauma, whether it's relationships, or whether it's your kids, or whether it's your job, all those emotions in your stomach and in your mind, the way you think, it really can affect you.
Absolutely.
Think about if you had a really bad day, your boss pissed you off, or you came home and God forbid somebody passed away.
Oh man.
Or you get a phone call, but something happened to your child.
Right.
Think about those emotions in your body.
Yeah.
You're not able to focus. You're not able to talk sometimes. No. It really can affect you.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Can I give a little quick example?
Yeah.
When I was pregnant with my last son, I actually fainted from fear.
Or the dog.
Well, no, the dog scared me.
Okay.
But the fear level rose up in me so bad. So, make a long story short, I thought my daughter, Cece, was getting mauled by a dog. The dog was a good distance away from me. So when I looked up and I saw the dog on his hind legs, it looked like he was attacking her and mauling her. The level of fear came over me so bad that I literally fainted. I was 8 months pregnant. And not only did I faint, I fell face first on the belly.
On concrete.
On concrete. And that all came from fear. Like the fear just made me just black out in my mind. And I literally just blacked out. My brain just went, and I just fell out. The level of fear of her, God forbid, maybe being mauled to death, made my brain shut down. Yeah. To the point where it just like, snap, gotta give it some time.
It went to immediate shutdown.
It went to a shutdown, and I fainted. And that was the only time in my life I ever fainted.
And just think about that, right? Even in law enforcement. When I'm training guys, I tell them, hey, when you on the way, we call it a 10-0, like a car chase, or like running cold blue lights and sirens to a car. When you're on the way to something that's dire or important like that, you have to really learn to take control of your emotions.
You do.
Because many cops die from running cold blue lights and sirens because they're running past red lights, not stopping. Because they're so tunnel vision on what's going on, trying to get to the call, that they kill themselves, hit or kill somebody else, because their emotions are everywhere. So like you mentioned, just think about it. You're trying to get to Cece, my sister, and you're so fearful and have so much emotions as a mother that you literally faint and pass out.
Almost.
So if she was getting mauled, you couldn't even help her.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't even help her. And I almost took out my unborn child.
Right.
Because instead of stopping, catching my breath, and using some of the techniques that we're going to talk about later on, instead of stopping, taking my breath, and of course saying a prayer,
yes,
I just reacted immediately. And those are the things that I don't think is properly taught. It's not properly taught because sometimes you don't even understand it. Like you said, sometimes you don't even know what's going on in your body.
Right.
So you just feel and you react.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, so have you ever heard of IBS?
So I got that in here because here's why. Because
I do too for a reason.
I began to research the gut and the brain in the Black community.
Right. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't dissect what IBS was specifically, but I was just Googling and researching what do African Americans deal with when it comes to the gut and the gut and the brain, the mind, when it deals in this topic. Mm-hmm. And it says that we deal with so much stuff like IBS, diabetes, high blood pressure, right? Because African Americans are disproportionately affected by gut-related illnesses.
Right. But I wonder why. Why are we so affected by that?
So diets in many Black communities are high in processed foods. Okay. Due to desserts and lack of access to healthy options. Okay. You know, just some people in certain neighborhoods are not able to afford it. You know, you look at places like Whole Food stores, you know what I'm saying? You might get a drink like this, not this drink, but a drink similar to this, it might be $30. Right. You know what I'm saying? Whereas somebody might say, well, shoot, I might spend $30 for this. Right. I'm gonna go to McDonald's.
Or get high C.
You can get a whole thing of Hawaiian Punch for $3. Right. For a 3 gallon. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would I spend $30 on something just this small that's only going to fill me? Right. When I can get something for my whole family that's this size, you know what I'm saying? Right. For $3.
Now listen to the correlation between IBS though. It's not always because of food. It's not always because of food. Let me say that was one way. But because your gut is feeling your fear. Your gut is feeling your fear. Not your mind is feeling something, where your brain and your stomach is feeling something. So stress and anxiety triggers the cortisol spikes, which damage the gut lining and alters the digestion. This is why trauma survivors often have gut issues.
Wow. I didn't know
the belly is literally feeling the fear. Literally.
So the mind is reliving it.
Right.
Psychologically. Right. With replaying what you saw. Right. And then the belly is feeling the emotions of what you felt.
Absolutely. The fear of it is replaying. And then all of a sudden your food nothing is operating properly. You know, our bodies are a well-oiled, fine machine that God made.
We're wonderfully made.
I mean, the Bible says we're wonderfully made. So everything in our body, it's almost like a hose. I love to use that example because I'm always dealing with the pool. So I'm always dealing with the hose. So your hose could be perfectly fine. One little kink in that hose and the water is not flowing. And you're like, oh man, I had that hose on all night. Where's the water? You know, it's because it's a little kink. So just imagine that with your gut lining. Just imagine that with your brain. Wow. It's just little things that's all off can alter the whole dynamic of your system.
Wow. So that ties into what I have written down. Okay. So chronic stress and trauma, right? Even going back to slavery days.
Oh, yes.
Right?
You know I like that topic.
I know. That's why I put that in here. Even go back to slavery days. So dealing with racism. Right. Dealing with poverty. Dealing with generational pain. Right. Right? It increases the cortisol in your body, which destroys your gut health. Wow. And rewires the brain to stay in survival mode.
Yes. Oh my God. So then you wonder why African Americans, we've been told, I'm not saying that salt and diet doesn't I just want you guys to think outside the box. Yeah. Tonight, this is what we're doing tonight. We don't want you to keep going to the doctors for your food. Yeah. We want you to understand there's another side to this thing. Another side to this thing. So you're just maybe saying, I'm going to cut out all salt. You need to focus on how your brain is rewired. Yeah. You need to start doing some self-healing. Yeah. And you need to, because your brain is constantly changing. Did you know that? Yeah. And it can be rewired back to normalcy. So don't just think that, oh my God, I had a horrible childhood. Yeah. Now this is it. No, this is not it. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how much I say how wonderful God is and how he makes us. That, your trauma, what the devil meant for harm, God can turn it around for good.
That's right.
So the bottom line is your brain may have been wired that way as a child, and then you grow up and it's still affecting you as an adult.
Right.
But once you gain knowledge and understanding.
Knowledge of self.
Now he's over the house tonight. Get that knowledge, you know what I mean? So, once you understand, like you said, knowledge of self and how our bodies operate, you can start now moving into a different treatment. Yeah. Not just your food. Right. Self-care.
And let me explain to y'all what cortisol is. Maybe somebody don't know what cortisol means.
Yes, that's what we're here for.
So when I mentioned the word cortisol in my previous statement, so cortisol is the brain's main stress hormone. It's released when you're overwhelmed or anxious, right? So cortisol is your body's alarm system. To give you an example,
ding 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 ding
right.
ding 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 ding.
It helps in emergencies, but when it's always high due to stress, it damages your health and your focus.
Absolutely. So just imagine children that are constantly living in abusive situations.
Oh man.
When they're constantly living in those abusive situations, their cortisol is never cutting off.
It's all out of whack.
It's alarming all day. So what is it doing to their body? And definitely what is it doing to their brain and their bellies? Isn't that something else?
So even dealing with children, right? So even with kids, a poor diet with kids, high sugar, low fiber. That's something I had to learn, to have a higher increase in fiber.
Right.
To help you have a bowel movement.
Well, we used to say an apple a day, keep the doctors away. But nobody want to believe old school, eat that apple.
Yeah, and fast food, it slows your cognitive development.
So in school.
So dealing with children in schools.
Yes.
So children with gut inflammation and poor digestion often show signs of poor focus, brain fog, anxiety, or behavior issues.
Now, as a person that worked with children basically my whole career, sometimes you're just thinking your child can't focus. You're not even taking no accountability for the lifestyle you done gave them. You know what I mean? Some parents.
I want a happy meal every day.
Right. A happy meal. Or what about the chaos in your life?
Right.
That's what I want to focus on. We know how bad the food is.
Right.
But what are you introducing that child to in their personal life every single day? Do they have a quiet time to study? Are we playing quiet music? Are we allowing them are we allowing them just to be on video games all day, feeding their brain, literally rewiring their brain? And then when they get to school, they're like, the teacher comes to you and say they can't focus. Do we take any accountability, or we just say they was born that way?
Right.
Are we just saying that? So I want to just talk about a little bit of one of my favorite authors, Henry Wright. I always talk about him. He's one of my favorite authors. And I want to talk about, I discussed this before, but I think it's worth saying again. Autoimmune disorders, often tied to self-hatred or guilt. Your immune system turns against you because emotionally you have turned against yourself. You have turned against yourself. So when they describe autoimmune, it's like your body attacking itself.
Right.
That is the science, right? Your body's attacking itself. But the spiritual is you're attacking yourself. You know what I mean? Because you're living in self-hatred. So if you hate yourself, thank you. So if you hate yourself, what is that doing to your immune system?
Yeah,
you're fighting this.
What you're telling yourself, what you're speaking to yourself. You know what I'm saying? And what you begin to believe. The word believe has the word lie in it.
Right.
So you got to ask yourself, what lie am I believing, good or bad? You know what I'm saying? And that ties into this word right here. I might chop it up.
Okay.
It's called neuroplasticity.
Yeah, I got that.
Neuroplasticity.
We're going to get it, y'all.
Which means that is the brain's ability to change and form new connections over time.
Oh.
Right? So it means your brain can learn, heal, and grow no matter your age or your past.
It's ever growing. That's the magnificent part of our bodies. It's ever growing. So no matter what you've been through or going through, you have in yourself the ability to change it.
Yep.
You just got to find out the right tools, and you got to be able to recognize it.
That's right.
This is why we're here tonight. You got to be able to recognize it. So digestive issues, we said it, are often tied to fear, anxiety, and trauma. So when you carry unforgiveness, shame, or fear, your vagus nerve stays stuck in stress. With unforgiveness.
Yeah.
Unforgiveness.
That's crazy.
I mean, guys, listen. We've all been through some stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And people have hurt us. I mean, people have hurt us. But how many of us are suffering from all type of gut issues?
High cortisol attacks a woman's womb, leading to PCOS, fibroids, leading to infertility, especially in women of color.
Oh, man.
That's good.
Can you say that again?
High cortisol attacks a woman's womb, leading to PCOS, fibroids, leading to infertility, especially in women of color. That's Delight in God on Instagram. That's great.
Oh, man, that's great. So you see how all of these things can affect you, even with giving birth.
Yeah.
Or even getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And fibroids. How many African American women suffer from fibroids? So many. You know what I mean? So we've been through a lot in life. You know what I mean? All of us have. You know what I mean? And honestly, I'm just going to say it. Maybe you don't want to say it, but I'll say it.
No, say it. Really it is.
Growing up as an African American, you're constantly living in some type of stress.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I remember
just looking out of the window.
Yes, right? Exactly.
Good times.
Yes. And it's not always good times, right? So at the end of the day, you're constantly working, as we know, I hate to say it, we tell our kids, you got to work 3 times harder, you know, than your counterparts. You got to, you know, show yourself, you got to, even how you look.
Right.
You know, there are things, I mean, my pastor, and I love my pastor. My pastor is white, a white man. I mean, what's the proper word?
Caucasian.
But Caucasian man, and I love him. And he told me, you and his son was the same age, and we would have around the table talks at church.
Right.
And Lawrence at the time was maybe 14 or 15. No, he was older because both of y'all was driving.
Okay.
And we had this talk, and I was telling him the things that I used to have to tell Lawrence when he would get in his car.
Yeah.
And I remember my pastor and his wife being baffled. Not only was they baffled, it was all of the Caucasian white members were baffled. They said, you guys got to have that conversation with your child.
Yeah.
We have to have certain conversations because they say driving while black.
Right.
DB, what is it? Driving while
DWB.
Yeah, there you go. He did law enforcement. There you go. And he would tell you stories that he would go through in college when he would get pulled over by the campus police all the time. Didn't do nothing wrong, just doing what's the term? Driving while black. So
pulled over by campus police, being followed in certain stores.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I even had interactions as a law enforcement officer, you know, working, I'm not gonna say the agency's name, but working for an agency where in uniform, they recognized who I was, but outside of uniform, they didn't know who I was. And I even dealt with that even at my children's school.
Absolutely.
When I went to their schools, Deputy Brewer or so-and-so, whatever,
right,
holding the door for me. You know, thank you for your service.
Right.
I went there one particular day and I spoke to this one particular Caucasian lady every single day I went to the school.
Right.
And that's when that really hurt my feelings. Because I spoke to her every single day.
Right.
And in uniform, dropping off Aaliyah.
Right.
And I remember I went there one time in plain clothes.
Right.
And she never gave me a visitor's pass.
Wow. When you was in uniform.
When I was in uniform. She never checked my ID, never gave me a visitor's pass.
Right.
And I went there one particular day in plain clothes, something like this with a hat on. And she was like, sir, you know, who are you? Who you here to get?
Right.
And I'm like, Miss So-and-so is me. She's like, I don't know you.
Wow.
You know? And that really taught me in that moment. I was like, wow, does she know me or does she recognize just
brown
the uniform?
Face uniform.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And I had to talk with Aaliyah back then about that experience.
Right.
Because like you said, there's so many conversations that we have to have that some of my other counterparts don't even know.
Right.
And even talking to Pastor George during that time, I remember I shared the story with him and I was being followed around in the store.
Right.
I'm looking for clothes. Lady walking behind me, act like she's folding clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, these clothes are already intact. You're not folding nothing. You're following me.
Right.
So when I explained that to Pastor George, who is a Caucasian man, his son, you know, we are the same age back then, he didn't understand that.
No,
he
was like, no clue.
And it wasn't coming from a place of malice, right? It was coming from a place of they just don't have to, he never had to deal with that.
It's almost like somebody gave me that example because when you describe, I guess, prejudice, because you don't want to say racism, but it's not, or you want to even describe just things that are not, quote, fair, you know, or systemic racism, or whatever you want to label it tonight. The bottom line is, it's like somebody told me, how could you describe color to somebody who's colorblind? So for them, they don't experience it.
Right.
They've never had to live it.
Never had
so
to.
It's like you're trying to explain color to a person that's colorblind.
Yeah.
So when you have these thought-provoking conversations with Caucasian men and people that you love and care, they love you back.
Yeah.
It gives them an understanding. It gives them a type of empathy to say, well, not empathy, but sympathy
to look through your lens.
To look through your lens. So that's absolutely. So what I said all that, we got off on that.
Yeah. Is
that we live in constant stress.
Yeah.
So this is why we're probably suffering from certain ailments different than other people.
Absolutely.
So I did say that about the vagus nerve. Your body is stuck in stress, right? Okay, what you got to say?
So prolonged stress in black children, right? It often causes toxic stress. It shrinks the hippocampus, talked about that earlier, which affects memory and learning. Trauma stored in the gut leads to inflammation, which in turn affects brain clarity and emotional balance.
Wow.
So watch this. So when a child grows up in stress and eats a lot of stuff that causes stress, they begin to learn like someone under attack.
Ooh, oh my God.
That was so profound.
Say that again. Oh my God. Jesus.
So when a child grows up in stress and eats stuff that causes stress, then they begin to learn like someone who is always under attack.
Like you in war.
Like you in war.
Wow.
So they're not dumb. They just dysregulated.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So guys, tonight, I want this to sink in as to your mothers, to your fathers out there, to your caretakers, how we are talking to people. I want people to also, have a quiet time of reflection to find out, is there anybody in your life that you're, haven't forgiven? Is there anybody in your life that you're holding on to bitterness? And if you're suffering from different ailments, take this time and this knowledge to start to self-reflect seriously, because it's not always just what you think it is.
Yeah.
It's not always just your quote diet. It is what you have, your brain and your vagus nerve in your belly have absolutely received.
Yeah.
And it's there in constant fight and flight mind with your body. So you want to be able to heal yourself. And some of the things, how to rewire the mind, replace toxic beliefs with truths. I am safe now. I am loved. You know what I mean? So get to a place where you say that. We take so much time on TikTok.
Oh my
we
God.
take so much time on Facebook, Instagram. We want you watching us tonight.
and in other countries, the algorithms are different.
Right.
What we see in America is not what they see in China.
Right.
Our algorithms is jokes and fun and silly stuff and food and some of it's porn.
Right.
But in those other companies, they don't even see that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They see stuff about building, technology, how to increase the brain, how to increase the learning. And you know what I'm saying? So it's just amazing how even the food.
Oh, I was going to say that because you showed me something.
Yeah.
Wow, yes.
We watched a clip about somebody in China and the food we got here in America, General Tso's and orange chicken and lo mein.
They didn't even know what it was.
They didn't even know what that was in China.
They didn't even know. So they sometimes just feeding us things that are not beneficial to our bodies.
And those, and growing up in New York, in the hood, in the black communities, we love some good old Chinese food.
You gotta have your fried chicken and pork fried rice.
Pork fried rice, shrimp lo mein, French fries with ketchup and honey. You know what I'm saying? Hot sauce.
Yes.
So in that clip in China, they didn't even know what those foods were.
They didn't even know.
So the question is, what are we eating here in America?
What are we eating?
And what is it doing to our gut and our brain?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So again, repetition is very important. So when I was teaching my kids, I would make them do repetition all the time.
Yes.
Get your kids off the tablets. Get your kids doing some more puzzles.
Yeah.
Sudoku. Get them kids doing more things that's going to exercise their brain. Word searches. Take accountability is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If your children are struggling in certain subjects, sit down and take accountability. What can I do differently that's going to benefit my child?
Yes.
And I'm not just talking about just the word puzzles. What is the environment that you're creating for your child when they come home from school?
Yeah.
Is it a calming environment? What is the environment you're creating when they're going to bed?
Or is it arguing and yelling?
Is it a lot of yelling and chaos? Because let's face it, we deal with a lot of stress as African Americans. So when we come home from work, sometimes we don't make the time to talk nice to our children. It's like, Mom, what's for dinner? Man, get out of my face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go sit down. You know what I mean? Or sometimes we're so lazy, we go get a pack of oodles and noodles. and we try to dress it up with hot sauce
or some oatmeal.
Or some oatmeal. And what about this? We're taking something that's so highly saturated with sodium that sometimes we're literally putting a couple of frozen vegetables in these noodles, thinking we're doing something.
I'm telling you.
You know, so...
As the guys in prison say, making a setup.
So the reality is, tonight, my takeaway from this conversation that I want to give to you is, what are we doing and how can we create an environment for our loved ones, our children, our parents, because some of us are caretakers of our parents. Yes. How can we make that environment more peaceful? How can we begin? Because you said tonight, it doesn't matter how old they are.
No.
How can we educate our parents? Because it's okay to educate your parent. I learn a lot from my kids. My kids teach me constantly, and be open to hear it and learn it and receive it.
That's right.
And how can we take the trauma from our past? And we're not just talking about childhood trauma, because you could have been traumatized from your marriage.
Yeah.
You could have been traumatized from a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. You could have been traumatized from school, somebody calling you stupid or dumb or whatever the case may be. How can you take that trauma and start to rebuild your brain and rewire your brain to a healthy place? You know what I mean? How can we do that? Take away tonight, please, guys. Give your children a chance, a fighting chance.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're upset, don't let your kids always see that. Take time to breathe. And I said it last night. Not one person last week hit me up to go to the park. Not one person, because sometimes we just complain. Yeah. This ain't right, that ain't right, this ain't right, that. What are you doing about it?
Right.
And I said for free.
For free.
For free.
And we like to complain, like you said, complain. People just want to talk.
Yeah, they're not wanting to change anything.
Some people don't want to change.
And I'm telling you right now, we'll sit for, I'm guilty of it. We'll sit for hours sometimes on TikTok, just looking at dumb videos. Take that time, because I do it sometimes, you know, and then I'll catch myself, pick up a book and read.
And like I said, that's what I do now. So like, to make sure, because my schedule is very busy, right? So to make sure I'm getting my reading in, I take my phone, I set a timer for like 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and I read for that allotted time. And when the timer goes off, the alarm will go off, I close my book.
Right.
But sometimes you gotta be meticulous with your time and your schedule.
Right.
And whether it's in the morning, in the afternoon, whether you in the bathroom, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Take that time for yourself to read.
Take that time.
Because it helps to build your vocabulary. It helps for you to learn something new. So when you are talking to new people, you don't feel like, oh my God, I don't belong in this room.
Right.
You can have something to add, something fruitful to add to the conversation.
Teach your children this. What do you think what kind of people could they become when they start learning this now?
Yeah.
Take the time to teach your children about brain health, about gut health. Take the time to teach your children something outside of the school.
Yeah.
That was important to me. Go to the bookstores, order some books. If you can't find these books, there are places that sell real books. Teach your kids, educate them.
Now watch this.
All right.
I'm gonna cut you off.
Okay, yeah, cut me off, but I hear it.
But inflammation and learning.
Oh my God.
They go hand in hand.
Inflammation.
And that's something I was dealing with even in my legs. Many of y'all saw me go to Atlanta to go get a shot, a PRP shot in my knee, because sometimes our body would develop inflammation. And we think sometimes it's from a torn meniscus or different things of that nature, where it could be maybe from a poor diet.
Yes.
You know, that's traveling in other areas of our body. So inflammation in the gut from poor food or stress travels to the brain and slows down the sympathetic firing, which affects focus and the speed of learning.
Oh, man.
So now we break down real quick what sympathetic firing means. It's the process by which neurons send signals to each other.
Okay.
Right? Think of your brain like a light switch. Sympathetic, I'm saying it wrong. Well, it's SYNAPTIC.
Okay.
But sympathetic firing is how your brain lights up and passes messages when your gut is inflamed.
Oh my God. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And those messages slow down when that's inflamed in your body.
Wow. So sometimes your kids are taking 100 years to read one book.
Yeah.
You're like, you still reading that book? Or you? Some people have books for months. It's like, you still reading that book?
I know, same old book.
The same old book.
Same old book.
I'm reading it.
100 pages, you know what I'm saying?
Been reading that book for 3-4 months. You know what I mean? So Here's my spiritual healing. I like to.
It's synaptic.
Oh, okay.
Synaptic. I said okay. That's how I pronounce it. Synaptic.
Okay. Now, one thing about my son, he gonna make sure it's right. And when I was pronouncing those, say it again.
Which one?
Get it right. The amygdala.
Amygdala.
When I was messing up that word, I said he gonna get me later. Because them words. I mean, but I've been studying this for years, and I've always taught my kids outside the box. Because I was never gonna believe that a European educational system was going to be able to teach my kids.
Right.
So I made sure that I would order those books and stuff. I would go do a lot trouble ordering books and stuff. I would go into Brooklyn and get books for my kids. And when I moved down here, I didn't say, well, I don't live in New York anymore. I found a website. It wasn't even a website. I found a number, and they had a bulletin, a book. What do you call the books when you can look through? A catalog. I found a catalog, and I would go to that catalog, and I would always pick out specific books for my kids so that they can learn, they can see themselves, and they can always think of themselves as great and see themselves in a positive light. So as a parent, you have to go the extra mile with your children, and that means even studying this stuff. All of these things we're talking about tonight, I've been studying this for years.
Yeah, this is so good to me.
Years. So spiritual healing is practice forgiveness. I don't care if somebody hurt you. Practice forgiveness.
That's right.
You know, bring unresolved wounds to God.
Yeah.
Bring it to God. And when I was going through something, I don't know what to do with my hands right now because he's always telling me I'm moving my hands. But when I was going through a trial in my life, I literally wrote it all down. And I said, God, you said, bring all my burdens to you, to cast all my burdens to you. And I gave it to him. And every moment I would feel sad or I would feel upset, I would always say this one scripture, the joy of the Lord is my strength.
That's right.
The joy of the Lord is my strength. And I'm telling you, and you can, a real life example, you can ask God to remove the pain. Remove the pain. God, I need you to remove the pain or remove that person from my mind.
Yeah.
We know how it is when you're in love.
That's right.
When you fall in love, really, you get caught up.
That's right.
Boy, you don't even know how to get rid of that person. I don't want to blow him up, but boy.
What?
When you was in high school, your first love.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, all right, I won't blow him up. But I know my first love. I blow myself up. I was Google Gaga, over my first love. And at the time, I didn't have these tools. I'm giving y'all the tools tonight to ask God to remove that person from your brain. That's right. and practice and forgive them if they hurt you.
That's right.
What's your closing statement?
But really, I want to give a couple of quick tips, really.
Okay.
Because, like I said, this topic really intrigued me. So the gut is the healing command center.
It is.
It's not the brain. It's really your stomach.
I always told you that. I don't know why you said you didn't know this. I would say your stomach.
Yeah, but you know how you hear stuff.
Right.
You think it's cliche or like a myth.
Right.
I mean, how many black parables do we hear that's not necessarily true?
Okay.
That we say in the black community as a joke. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the stuff that you was telling me, growing up, that I just didn't even put two together because this don't make sense. It's counterintuitive to what you hear and what you think and believe. Like you would think everything starts in the mind.
Right.
And that's what we say.
Right.
Everything starts and ends in the mind. But really, when it comes to your health, that stuff starts in your stomach.
Isn't that
but it's connected to your mind. So it's kind of.
It's what did you say? It literally has this. Just for lack of words, like trying to give you a visual. Just imagine like a stem that's going from your belly to your brain.
Yes.
It's giving constant signals and messages.
When the gut is healthy, it helps produce the right chemicals, right? Like serotonin and dopamine that stabilizes your mood. It helps improve your focus. It increases motivation and joy. A nourished gut equals a clearer, calmer mind, right? So your healing doesn't start in the brain. As I mentioned, it starts in your belly. When you eat right, think right, rest right, your body begins to repair itself naturally. Oh, come on, guys. Let's take some of that home tonight. Man, let's take some of that home. So I'll say this. That's why it's important to rest. It's important to rest, and it's important to take these times. This is important, y'all. Yeah. And we're taking time. But guys, we study on this stuff. Yeah. I'll give him a topic, or he'll give me a topic, and we go to work on it. Yeah. I'll pull out some of my old books. And we don't talk about this stuff until we get on live. We don't even talk about it. Yeah, we don't talk about none of this stuff until we get on live. Because our lives are busy, right? Right. I don't know what she's going to say on here. So when she asks me questions, I'm asking questions, I'm like, oh boy, I don't know what I don't know what right, bottom line, we're not preparing. Yeah. This is not scripted. Yeah, we prepare individually. Exactly. We prepare individually. We discuss a topic, and then we move on with it. Right. And then when we come on live, it's live for us too. It's live for us too. We be like, wait a minute. And I'm like, okay, I hope I know the answer to this question.
But I do want to say this one thing, because you said it. You said, I want to say this to you. Your brain remembers, your body reacts. Okay? But your soul has the power to heal. Healing isn't just mental, it's emotional, spiritual, physical. And most importantly, it's possible. It's possible. Healing is possible. So no matter how bad it looks tonight, guys, no matter what you're feeling tonight, what you're going through, it's possible to rewire the brain. It's possible to rewire your emotions. It's possible to heal.
Man, so listen, we might come back and do a part 2 on this. Because,
I mean, what y'all think? Give us some feedback.
Yeah, you know, because this was really profound to me.
Absolutely.
Because I learned so much about this, even in my own body, of why certain things I felt or feel now make sense.
It makes sense.
When I'm stressed out, when I'm not sleeping enough, and my stomach is hurting, it could cause and create constipation. Brain fog. You're trying to see like, you know,
what did I eat?
What did I eat today?
What did I eat?
You know, what did I just say?
But you ate something, but you ate it here.
That's right.
And then that stem, because I'm going to give y'all a visual. I'm a very visual person. So that stem, think about this. Every time you feel something in your gut, envision that stem that's going from your brain to your belly. What is in that clog?
Yeah.
What is in that clog?
Need some Drano. You need some Drano to clear that clog up.
I like that. That's good. So that's
like
what I got to say. You got something to say and we're going to end tonight?
Yeah, so what you feed your belly is what fuels your brain, okay? So if we want to raise sharper thinkers, stronger leaders, and healed communities, we must teach our people to care for both.
Oh, man. So we're teaching y'all tonight. And we want y'all to like, share, because this is, I mean, we're doing this because we feel led by God to do this.
Absolutely.
We feel led by God to do this. And we're not doing this just to say, oh, like it. Oh, I want some likes. I want the whole world to see me.
Yeah.
We want to educate. We want to educate. That's why we so raw.
Yeah.
We're raw as you're going to get us. You know, like I said, we get a topic and we just go with it. Because we both are, me and my son are very much alike with that. We love to study.
That's right.
And we love to prepare. So we will prepare, and then we don't even go over it until we get here. It's like,
this is not edited. This ain't YouTube where you could cut, chop, splice, add it together. This is raw.
Right.
And if I mess up, she mess up. This is live.
That's why I was laughing when I was pronouncing those words wrong. But I already know he's going to be like, Ma. You know what I mean? But hey, this is what it is.
Surrender is key. I like that. Delight in God. I like that. Surrender is key.
Yeah, amen.
You know, so thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
You know, you already know what time it is. We're going to be back here next Monday. We might do a part 2 on this because I got so much more notes on here.
Man,
I mean, talking about de-stress, talking about inflammation and learning, talking about the microbiome and mental health. So we might do a part 2 on this topic because this is very profound and I learned a lot.
I'm glad.
Studying this stuff. So
that's my passion. My kids know my passion is always about holistic health.
Yeah.
And understanding things outside of the doctor. Not saying that you shouldn't go to the doctor because I go.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is thinking outside the box.
That's right.
Thinking outside the box.
That's right.
For your healing.
So listen, we hope you guys enjoyed it. Part 2 is needed. Absolutely. Yeah, I like that. She said part 2 is needed on Instagram.
Oh, good. Good. We'll do it. We will do it for you.
So TikTok, Facebook, IG, we appreciate y'all. Go enjoy your Mondays. Go have a drink on me. Drink some water. You know, we're talking about health and wealth, right? Have a drink of some water, a shot of water.
Keep the invisible tool stem. Keep that in your mind this week. Keep it in your mind.
Keep it unclogged, baby. Keep it unclogged.
All right, thank y'all.
Be blessed and have a good night.
That's right.
So let me cut this one off.
I don't think I did it right.
And I'm gonna do good old Facebook.
All right.
Love.